What is your favorite movie of 1991? Hey? What? What's your favorite movie of 1991? Okay. Hey guys, welcome to another top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 best movies of 1991. I have Echo in here instead of Stormy, and she's a lot louder. So, if you hear some noises in the background, it's definitely Echo. But yes, I want to talk about movies of 1991 because I was born in 1991. Go figure, huh? Yes, I get the feeling that after I do this, people are going to want me to do best movies of many other years to come, which is fine. I might do it, but depends. Just depends. I'm going to talk about 1991. It's a very important year, and a lot of good movies came out in 1991, and it brought me into this world. So it's a great year. So let's get to it here. My top 10, my personal favorite. I call it best, but they're really just my personal favorite films of 1991. And as always, before top 10 list, you got to have your honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are New Jack City, My Own Private Idaho, Cape Fear, Hot Shots, What About Bob, City Slickers, and The Addams Family. Great movies, couldn't make the top 10 list, but my top 10 was my number 10. My number 10 is that film right there, Point Break. Point Break is directed by Captain Bigelow, and it stars Keanu Reeves as an FBI agent. And the Swayze himself, Patrick Swayze. Love Swayze. Oh, God, love Swayze. Rest in peace, man. Great movie. It's so cheesy. Like, a lot of people should know me. I love really silly films. Maybe not modern silly films. I guess they're not my shtick. Old school silly films like Commando, Conan the Barbarian, Flash Gordon, Point Break. Like, these silly, ridiculous films. Like, Over the Top and Cobra. Like, ridiculous action films like those. For some reason, they have this charm about them. I love them. I love them. And I love Point Break. It's a bank robbing movie. It's a surfing movie. Johnny Utah is going undercover because he knows the surfers are robbing banks and how they rob banks. They rob banks as the ex-presidents of the United States. It's awesome. It's just wicked. Super amazing, high octane, full adrenaline-filled action scenes. It's got heart. It's got soul. It's got badass lines. It's corny as hell, but I fucking love every second of it. Point Break. Number 9, one of the most underrated films in the 90s, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. One of my favorite Robin Hoods. And I've seen, I think I've seen every Robin Hood movie. Yep, I've seen every Robin Hood movie. And this is no, like, Errol Flynn Robin Hood. Like, that's, like, the best. The Adventures of Robin Hood. Like, that is, like, that's how you do a Robin Hood movie. That's amazing. And I like the Disney Robin Hood film. The animated one's pretty good. But I love this one with Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman and Alan Rickman, Christian Slater, big cast. Mary Elizabeth Mastrano. I love this movie, and I love that Kevin Costner doesn't even bother with an accent. But I like him as Robin Hood, and I like this story. It feels like a big, epic story. And I love the characters. I've loved this movie since I've been a kid. I was shown this movie by my grandparents when I was like 10, and I always loved it. And it's got a Bryan Adams soundtrack, which is always amazing. Everything I do for you. I love you, Robin Hood. Number 8, The Rocketeer. The Rocketeer is one of the best live-action Disney films ever. It's just so fucking good. Rex Secord, man. I love it. It's directed by Joe Johnston, who is one of the most underrated directors. He's also done like Hidalgo, Captain America: First Avenger. Pretty sure he did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids as well. I really like Joe Johnston's work, and this is my favorite of his. I love The Rocketeer. I love Timothy Dalton as the villain. I like Jennifer Connelly as the female love interest. Alan Arkin as his sidekick. He's great. Just great practical effects. They're still working the kinks on CGI, and it looks a little dated, but still, I love it. It's like it's like these like old school cereal box comic book movies. Like they're just so silly and cheesy, but I love it. I love the action. I love the set pieces. I love the production. Just Rocketeer is just it's a classic to me, and I love it. Number 7, I know I'm going with a lot of underrated films. Hook. Steven Spielberg's Hook, and I know just based off my number 10, 9, and now 7 is Hook. Some people might not agree with any of these picks, but these are just my favorites. I love Hook. Hook is childhood. Again, I was born in '91, so I grew up with a lot of these films, and I grew up with Robin Hood. I didn't quite grow up with Rocketeer and Point Break, but I was shown them in my teens. But Hook is a movie I grew up with. I've loved this movie since I've been like 5 years old. It's such a great film. Love Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, all great. Fucking Bob Hoskins as Smee is just fantastic casting right there, and I love showing a story about what if Peter Pan grew up, the psychology of that, and just the deep richness of that story. And again, yeah, there's some things about this movie that doesn't work, and there's some corniness to the film, but I love it. John Williams' score, Spielberg's direction. I love the costume design. Just I love how charismatic Robin Williams is. I think this movie is one of the most quotable films. This gave us Dante Basco's Rufio is a great character, and Dustin Hoffman just milks every scene as Captain James Hook. He's great, and it's I love Hook. It's a great movie. Number 6. Now we're into more serious films. Number 6 is JFK. JFK is a legit terrific film. Very well directed, very well structuralized film. I love that it takes place after the assassination of John F. Kennedy and all the people trying to figure out what really happened that day. How did this happen? Who was involved? And what is this conspiracy all about? You got Kevin Costner in this movie, Tommy Lee Jones, Gary Oldman. This movie is stacked. The casting is just huge. It's fantastic. I think the writing is what makes this movie so good. It's a great movie about details. It's a great movie about being intense without actually showing the intensity. It's all through dialogue and conversation. And I think that's brilliant, how to make a film and how to write a movie as well. And just, yeah, JFK is just a terrific film. And I know a lot of people might actually watch that movie and just think, oh, this is just a really boring political film. But when you actually go into the roots and the deepness of the story, and especially that history, it's a fascinating film, and I love it. Number 5, we're going Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood, I was first shown this movie when I was 13 years old. Loved it ever since. Directed by John Singleton. Got Cuba Gooding Jr., Ice Cube, Morris Chestnut, Lawrence Fishburne, all fantastic in this movie. Ricky! Great movie. This is basically what started Ice Cube's film career. And then he went to Friday and all that stuff. And he's actually legit great in this film. And Ice Cube, I'm sorry, he is not a very good actor. But he is legit good, really good in this movie, and gives a very good performance. Show Stealers is Cuba Gooding Jr. and Lawrence Fishburne, of course. They are fantastic. The movie is just tragedy. It is so emotionally hard-hitting, and it just shows the realism of the ghetto and then the neighborhoods people are living in like Compton and New York and all the like horrible cities to live in sometimes. And just, I love Boys in the Hood. It's great. Number 4, Backdraft. It's a fireman movie. There's not a lot of firefighter movies, and this is the best. For me, this is my favorite. It's Backdraft. Directed by Ron Howard, one of Ron Howard's best films. You got Kurt Russell and another huge standout cast. The realism of this movie is just intense and insane. I've never seen a firefighter movie so real like this one. A lot of firefighter movies are either like really stupid, like Pronounced Chuck and Larry, and really sappy, like Ladder 49 and stuff. And I know there's a firefighter show that's really realistic I've never seen yet. It's got Dennis Leary. I've never watched it. I don't know much about it, but a lot of people tell me to watch that. But Backdraft's a great film. Very well directed, very intense, and just pretty emotional in some scenes. And actually darkly comedic in a lot of elements too. And it just shows the realism of firefighters in their lives and their daily lives and everything, and them on the job. And just great characters in this movie as well. Just love it. Number 3 is one of my favorite Star Trek movies, Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country. This is when Nicholas Meyer came back into the works. Anytime Nicholas Meyer is involved with Star Trek, it's always great. He was involved with Wrath of Khan, Voyage Home, and now Undiscovered Country, and this is great. This is about basically the Enterprise, and basically the Star Trek government is signing a peace treaty with the Klingons, but then a Klingon leader gets killed, and they are blaming it on the Enterprise, and they have to prove that it was actually a Klingon who did that, and they're just trying to set it all up because they don't want a peace treaty with the human species. And then the story's also with Kirk and Bones going on this like alien prison planet and then trying to escape from it. It's just a really awesome film, and it's definitely one of the most epic Star Trek films. It may not be it's not the best. It's not like Wrath of Khan or First Contact or something, but it's still a fucking great movie. And it's got a lot of great scenes. And it's got Christopher Plummer as a Klingon, so that's just amazing. Number 2, The Silence of the Lambs. The Silence of the Lambs is one of the greatest psychological thrillers ever made. Hopkins, Jodie Foster, both amazing in this film. Both won Oscars, both very well deserved. Every scene with Clarice Starling, talking like a Boston guy for a second there. Every scene with Clarice Starling and Hannibal Lecter are the best scenes in the movie. Really fucking good. I love Crawford as a character. Buffalo Bill is a great character. A lot of great side characters. It's a very disturbing film, but it is not a horror film. It is a mystery psychological thriller about this detective looking for this serial killer, and she needs the help of a serial killer because they're both cannibals and stuff. And it's a fascinating film and just non-stop intense and very unsettling film. And it's the only like really dark, twisted film to ever win Best Picture at the Oscars. So that's an achievement right there. Silence of the Lambs. Number 1 though, it's number 1. It's one of my favorite. It's my favorite. It's like one of my favorite Disney films. So you all should know what it is. It's Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite film of 1991. It always goes like back and forth. I always like to say maybe Silence of the Lambs is my favorite or it's Beauty and the Beast, but I gotta go Beauty and the Beast. I've seen it the most. I grew up with this film, and it's the film that makes me like the most happy out of definitely all of these films and out of a lot of Disney films. I love Beauty and the Beast. I love the characters, the beautiful animation. It's got a terrific message for boys and girls around the world. The songs are catchy as hell. Gaston's one of my favorite Disney villains. The Beast has such a great design. Belle is the best Disney princess. She is a legit, compelling, inspirational character. It actually has legit good writing, and it is the first anime film to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, which is, again, an achievement of itself. And I've talked a lot about Beauty and the Beast, so everyone, it's not a shock to anyone, but that is my favorite film of 1991. So yeah, that was my top 10 of my favorite, or what I think are the best films of 1991. I know a lot of people disagree, so that's what the comment section's for. I know a lot of people are going to disagree, but that's what the comments are for. So comment below, let me know, give me your guys' top 10 of your personal favorite films of 1991. Comment below, let me know, and as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.